Hey friends, welcome to this pregnancy yoga class for the delightful combination of nausea, but also constipation. So this particular video was a request from one of my online yoga circle members. So if you are looking for more yoga for pregnancy and birth, perhaps request a class of your own, I'll leave the link below. So both nausea and constipation are really common during pregnancy. There are a few factors that contribute to it. When we're pregnant, our body produces a hormone called relaxin, which just sort of slows down all the processes in the body. Your digestion doesn't work as well. As your belly starts to grow, it compresses the space that our body has for digestion, so that tends to slow down as well. Also, our body diverts as much as it can towards our babies. So if we're not drinking enough water, if we're not eating enough fiber, and then on top of that, if we're feeling morning sickness, we move towards things like dry biscuits and things that just can help the nausea a little bit, and that tends to block us out because it's not that nutrient dense natural food that our body needs. So all of these things kind of combine, and then you're in this hell of feeling just sick, but also not good. So in today's class, it's going to be nice and gentle because obviously if you are feeling sick and also constipated, you don't want to be doing any sort of strenuous exercise. Also, really want to calm our nervous system down, allow it to get into the rest and digest mode, which is going to help our digestion move along. I do want to encourage you throughout this class, please drink water. That's going to help as well. So have a quick sip before we get going, and then have a big glass at the end of today's practice. So usually when I'm working with yoga students around digestion, we often do a lot of forward folding. Sometimes a little bit of belly compression can help because you're helping to move the food through the digestive system a little bit. Obviously, when you're pregnant, we avoid belly compression. It can be a little bit trickier to address something like constipation. But in this class, we will still do some forward folding. We'll just skip the belly compression to help hopefully get things moving. That being said, let's get moving ourselves. Let's come onto our mat. All right, so let's just start in a really comfortable seat. So however your legs are comfortable. If you feel like you need to roll up a towel or a blanket or a cushion under the hips just to bring them a little bit higher than the knees, that can sometimes feel a bit better for the pelvis, so please do that if you need. So really slow to start. We're just gonna start with some pelvic circles. So if you are feeling super constipated and you're also pregnant, there's limited space in here. So I just want you to almost feel like you're stirring this pot with the upper part of your body. So just moving around. And yeah, there might be some points where you're like, ooh, that feels a bit icky there. So just kind of rock back and forward if you find any icky points. If it feels nice to do so and you're not super pregnant. So if you're super pregnant, you've got this big bulbous belly, you're not going to want to press on the belly at all because your digestive system is going to feel like it's behind that baby. But if you are newly pregnant and constipated, you can also add a little bit of a gentle press down the left side, and that's the descending colon, or perhaps a gentle movement up the ascending colon, just to kind of encourage that movement. So it's like a clockwise direction, a little bit of a massage that can help too. So you might do that after your shower. You could do that after this practice if you like. Let's just reverse our circles. So just another way to help use a bit of movement to kind of loosen things up in this area. All right, and then come back just to center, so make your circles a little bit smaller. I'm just gonna move forward and back. So just inhale, opening the chest, and then exhale, looking down towards your baby. Inhale as you open, and exhale if you close. So if you are feeling super nauseous, just see if you can use the breath, really extending out the exhalation. Reminding yourself that this nauseous feeling is not going to last forever, because that can sometimes feel like the worst part when it feels like, oh, this is never going to end. I promise it will end. One more inhale. All right, and then come into your tabletop. So bring the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees under the hips. And I just want you to really move intuitively here. So rocking and rolling. So you want to take the knees a little bit wider than hip distance, just so perhaps so you can make a bit more space. So rocking the pelvis from side to side. Really allowing the belly to hang here, so letting there be no vanity in keeping the belly pulled in at all, let everything hang out. Give your internal organs as much space as they need to do what they need to do. And just notice where perhaps you feel any tension or ickiness, and just stay and rock there. And then come back to bringing those knees underneath the hips. And as you inhale, I want you to lift the tail, lift the head. As you exhale, gently round, tucking the tail under. So if you are heavily pregnant, so that then the arch in the back is already quite exaggerated, you might just inhale and come to tabletop instead of adding that extra arch in. But if it still feels good, you can add the arch. And then exhale, round once more. So really focusing on the pelvis, tucking the tailbone under. Inhale, rise. Exhale, roll. And we're going to energetically let go of some things now. So as you inhale, breathe in through the nose. And we're going to use the out breath to let go of anything that no longer serves us. Let it go. Out through the mouth. Inhale, let's do one more of those. Exhale, let it go. Nice. Take the knees a little bit wider, so out to the edges of your mat. Take a seat back towards the heels and just give yourself a little rock from side to side here. Let the belly be super soft, letting everything hang out. And then you might like to make a little stack with the hands and rest the head onto the hands, and then just let the hips become heavy here. Belly soft, breathing deeply into that low belly, and exhale, let everything sink. Shoulders relaxed, face relaxed, jaw relaxed. As you inhale, bring the hands back forward, bring the knees in, just so that they're underneath the hips. And we're just going to rock forward and back. So as you inhale, come forward, almost into a bit of a modified up dog, and then exhale all the way back. Inhale, so still keeping space for the belly when you draw backwards, so the knees are wide enough that the belly can fit between. Just, again, moving in any way that feels good, so you don't have to just keep it linear forward and back. Feel free to take any circles, rock from side to side if that feels good. And keep that belly nice and soft. So keep breathing deeply on the inhale, filling up the belly like it were a balloon, and then exhale, releasing. So you can keep the shoulders soft, not moving the tension from the abdomen into the shoulders. All right, let's come up a little bit higher now. So come into your tabletop, step the left leg forward. I just want you to make some circles here, so just moving around. So again, really opening up through this pelvis, letting the belly be nice and soft. And just explore moving forward and back, maybe finding any of those sticky spots and doing a little rock and roll there. And perhaps even just noticing what feels better for you nausea-wise. So is it when you find stillness? Does it kind of settle and, okay, I can cope with this now? Or does movement feel better where there's that element of distraction? Does it feel better when you breathe deeply? Or is a shallower breath feeling better in your body? It's really noticing what works. So I sometimes found breathing out through my mouth more helpful for nausea. So deep breath in through the nose as we change sides. And then exhale, creating like a little O with the mouth. And really focusing on the feeling of that coolness of air on the lips as you exhale can sometimes help just a little bit. It's not going to solve it, but it's just all giving us tools to cope with some of the shittier parts of pregnancy. Keep breathing. All right, step that front foot back now to your tabletop. Tuck the back toes under. I want you to super slowly come from your down dog and just walk the feet forward. I'm going to get you to walk them to the outside of the hands. So almost at the edges of the mat, nice and wide, lots of space here for your belly. And I just want you to keep the hands on the shins to start with. A little bend through the knees, so there's no belly compression, it's fitting between my legs. And then let the upper body hang. So you're getting that forward folding benefit that really helps with our digestive system, but there's no belly compression. And then just take a little rock from side to side. So bending and straightening one leg. And let the head be completely soft, the neck, the face. Let the belly hang. And then as you inhale, straighten up the legs, press into the shins, lift through the heart. And as you exhale, bend back into those knees, folding back over. Inhale. And exhale. One more of these, inhale. I should probably add, if at any point you feel like you need to go to the toilet during this class, please pause the video and go. Don't hold on. And fold. Sometimes this movement will press exactly the right button and you'll need to go. So please take your body's cue there. Bring the left hand down to the ground. So it might just be the left fingertips, or you might bend into the knees and plant the hand if that feels more secure. Inhale, take the left arm up to the sky. And then exhale it down, swap sides, inhale. And exhale. Come all the way down, bend deeply into the knees. We come into our malasana and just rock from side to side. So you just see there's lots of space, no belly compression, just rocking side to side. You see if you can find a little length in the spine, coming up a little bit higher. If you feel okay to do so, you could bring the hands to heart, or maybe even stretch them up tall. And then slowly coming all the way down, coming to have a seat. Bringing the legs out in front of you. I'm going to take a seated forward fold now. So we're going to need to take the legs a little bit wider than we would normally. Normally they'd be together, but I want you to make space for that belly. And I just want you to inhale, lift up. So I want you to draw the toes back towards you, press the legs down firmly into the ground. And you should feel that stretch along the back of the legs, even just from sitting. Again, if you need to, something under the sit bones will feel good if you're finding this is too much for the hamstrings. And if you can, gently lean forward, but if you don't have the range to do it, stay sitting tall. Keep breathing deeply into that low belly. And then as you sit up, bring the soles of the feet together, making a diamond shape with the legs. So again, lots of space for belly here. And exhale. If you can fold further forward, do so. If it feels better to sit upright, stay there. And then as you inhale, slowly rise. Instead of coming to Shavasana today, we're going to come into our child's pose for our meditation. So I'm going to use a prop because I think it can be really nice during pregnancy when we're coming into child's pose to have a bit of support under the chest. That way the belly can just hang, especially if we're having issues with constipation, because we really don't want any sort of compression in that area. It just feels completely yuck. So if you have a bolster, you can use that, or you can just use a cushion off your bed or off your couch, and you just want to make a prop so that the chest can rest on it. So you may even want to fold your cushion in half, just so that you can bring it underneath the chest, so that the body feels supported. You can really let go and enter that state of rest, letting everything unwind and slow. Continue breathing deeply into that lower belly. So the only thing that is conscious effort is just that breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. The deeper you breathe, the deeper you go. Let yourself soften. Surrendering to all the changes that your body is going through. Surrendering and accepting. Some you may not be able to embrace, but just acceptance is perfect. Letting go of the struggle that it should be another way. Realize this is just what your body needs to do. And you can support your body by softening into it, relaxing into it, rather than feeling like you're fighting against the changes. Just be present for them. Rest when you need. Give your body that time to restore, to repair, and to do the amazing job of building your baby. Ready to start to slowly wriggle fingers, bring your awareness back to the cushion under the head, the mat beneath the fingers and the legs. Rising yourself up when you're ready. Maybe taking a few circles, the arms to the sky, maybe opening the heart if that feels good, and then bring the hands to heart. Just take a moment here, honoring yourself for showing up for this practice today. And bring the hands to the belly, honoring your body for all that it's doing for you, and honoring that beautiful baby there for being along for the ride. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.